Hello and welcome to LexGo Eat, the Herald Leaders podcast about eating and drinking in the bluegrass. I'm Janet Patton and I cover food and bourbon and craft beer.
I'm Sally Shear. I'm the Business and Lifestyles editor.
And normally we're here with Cheryl Truman, but she's on vacation. So this week we have a special guest.
Special guest!
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm an intern from Northwestern University.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. Today we are at Altec's Revelation Symposium, which is their annual meeting. They talk about all kinds of things about cow feed and pig feed and aquaculture and yeast and marketing. And this year, for the first time, they're also talking about brewing and distilling. So I've had a lot of fun.
I bet.
Over here the last 2 days.
I know. I've tried to be in contact with you several times.
Believe it or not, these sessions have actually had beer in them.
What?
Yeah. Well, what are the odds? And this
Janet,
is one
you have
of them.
the worst job.
I do. This was the one that I got to taste this morning. This is from Dogfish Head, which is a really cool craft brewery in Rhode Island, and it has
so dark.
I know, you can't even see that. It's like a motor oil in a glass, and it was
really
aged in a couple of different barrels, including Altec's bourbon barrel, ale barrels. So it smells great, and it's got a kick.
Yeah, I would say it's very rich.
This is like a liquid bread.
Mm-hmm.
Liquid bread, yes. Kind of has
a
that
chocolate
taste.
bread. It's like 12% alcohol by volume. And Hannah, you actually went to the Craft Brews and Food Festival on Saturday that Altec had down here?
Yeah, no, I did, and it was a lot of fun. There were so many people, and I even went like later in the day. And there were just a ton of people, and everybody was having fun drinking beer.
Did you sample any beer?
I did. It was more of, I'm not a big fan of IPAs, so it was more of a mission to find the non-IPA.
Yeah, that can be kind of hard.
But yeah, no, it was really good. My favorite that I tried was another one that was similar to this one, and it was the Kentucky Ale Stout beer.
Oh yeah,
that was really good. It almost had like a coffee flavor.
Yes,
to it.
Yes,
right.
It
really
does.
Good.
It's got a real hearty texture. Like this one, which is unfiltered, which is why it's so thick. Well, I'm glad that you went. I meant to go, and unfortunately went to Taste of the Bluegrass on Friday night with Cheryl.
Which was totally
and
fun, I bet.
That was, and it totally put me on the top. So
You'd had enough tasting by that
I'd had
point?
enough
Is that what you're
tasting
saying?
for a little while.
Gotcha.
I'm here with Hal Jervis. He's the director of the Altec Brewing and Distilling Company, which makes Kentucky Ale.
Correct.
And you guys just had your Altec Craft Brews and Food Fest
last weekend.
Was it a big success this year?
It was brilliant. It was a great success, but more importantly that, it was a lot of fun.
Was it?
Yeah. When you got 50 plus breweries and 180 beers in one room and a bunch of people that want to have a good time, and some fantastic food, and 6 bourbons.
Six, wow.
Yeah, what's not to enjoy?
How many people did you have this year?
Just shy of 5,000. This is going to be 10,000 in no time at all.
You think so?
Yeah,
it's going to keep growing?
It is.
And I know that you guys are going to be having these in other places.
Yeah, next year we are going to do the Dublin one again, and then I'm looking. We're working in Edinburgh. Which is another place that people hate drinking. And that again, we're very cunningly putting that on with a rugby game as well. So it's going to be good.
I think it's fascinating that this year, for the first time at the Altec Symposium, you had a brewing and distilling session, which was also pretty well attended.
It did, and I think appropriately it was revelation. And if you look at the movers and shakers in the brewing revolution, craft brewing revolution, those guys are rebels.
Absolutely.
And we had at least two of the leading rebels, which was Sam Calgione and Greg Cook from Stone and Dogfish, respectively. Firstly, two of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet, but also two of the most probably conventionally rebellious guys. So having the first brewing and distilling session at Revelation, where it's all about sort of shaking things up, was totally appropriate. This is Kentucky Ale's collaboration with Sam Calgione at Dogfish Heads, and this is Paolo Santo Maron, and it's a brown ale. Which has been aged. Firstly, it was aged in our bourbon barrels, so it's Kentucky Ale's bourbon barrel ale barrels.
Okay.
And then it was in their wood, which is the Palo Santo wood, which from Mexico, otherwise known as the holy tree.
Okay.
The combination of two woods is really interesting because they're both bringing different flavors. The great Kentucky white oak that we use on our bourbon barrel ale is really about caramels, vanillas, a softening on the palate. The Palo Santo has a greater spiciness to it. It's a bit like if you did a comparison between town branch or bourbon and rye. You know that there's that spice that comes on the rye and it's more about the sweetness on bourbon. It's kind of that sort of feel to it.
Well, and he was saying this is, it's so dark you can't see through it.
It's unfiltered, it's unfettered, it's just out the barrel. So you're going to get, as Sam himself said, you're going to get wood particles, you're going to get yeast, you're going to get everything, and it's a meal.
It
it's
is,
a good meal.
It's like 12% alcohol, he said. So,
which is getting up to an appropriately high level. So yeah, good.
Well, thanks so much for letting us come down here today.
Pleasure. I
And
thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you. Thanks for
beer.
coming.
It's terrific.
Well, thank
Beer
you.
isn't the only thing in the news this week. We've got a lot of new restaurants coming, right, Sally?
A ton of them, in fact. I mean, it's almost shocking how many there are. And a wide variety. One of the things that we've already written about, the Long John Silver's and A&W on Main Street, is now becoming a uniquely different kind of A&W solely. Yeah. And then there are a variety of others in between, from the Buddha Lounge on Mill Street, which is going to be sushi and Asian tapas, to
all kinds of things. You've got the National Avenue National Provisions, which has been written up in the New York Times, among other places.
Right.
And they're going to have their grocery store opening.
Which could be very cool to go look at.
I don't think I'll be buying that much there because I don't generally need a pomegranate.
What?
For instance, I know, I don't need fresh oysters, but if you
never
do,
know.
they're going to have them.
I'm sure it will be lovely based on everything else that they sell.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And on News Circle, I mean, we always focus a lot on things that are sort of top end, but a lot of times you just want something quick, fast, and yet good. And there's a new Asian place where Ho Ho Chinese Express used to be called Spiceracks Kitchen. So it's on News Circle. It's on the north side. It's near Lexmark. I haven't tried it yet. It just opened on Friday. So if anybody out there has tasted it,
let us know.
Let us know how it is. We'd like to,
Yeah, and then the Lexington pasta people.
Oh my God.
This is awesome because their fresh pasta is wonderful, and they've sold it for years and years and years at the farmers market, and have had a shop where they've made it where you could go in and buy it too. But now they have their own place.
That's right. It's around the corner from my house. So I'm very excited about this. It's on Delaware Avenue. Pasta Garage Italian Cafe is going to open in early June, and they're going to serve lunch at first, but then they'll expand to dinner.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
I know where I'll be eating.
Good. I was going to say, we got a lot of places to go. I was on vacation last week. Never had been before to Captiva Island, Florida. Let me say, lovely. And wonderful places to eat there, of course. Lots of great seafood places. Went to two places that lots of people have heard of. The Bubble Room, which is this fun, kind of wacky place that has all the sorts of Disney characters and trains and stuff going on while you're eating, and had some wonderful grouper there. And then we went to a place that's right on the beach called the Mucky Duck, and I think I had the shrimp platter that had coconut shrimp, boiled shrimp, fried shrimp, bacon wrapped shrimp, and something else. And while we were sitting at our table, we could watch the sunset over the Gulf of Mexico. It was lovely.
Sounds
really,
great.
really nice. It was.
I can't wait to go on vacation now.
I know.
I can't
Going
wait
on
to fill in
vacation is
for
good.
you while you go on vacation.
I can't either.